Hello, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to today's cooking demonstration here from Moley Robotics on Wigmore Street in central London. Today we're going to be doing a Vietnamese noodle broth, one of our brand new recipes we recently added to our recipe library. And I'm going to show you today how we load the system in terms of the containers, the ingredients. We prep the utensils and so on as well. So I'll show you through the whole process how we cook this recipe. Any questions? Here we have a list of recipes. Now, our recipes can be filtered according to dietary requirements or a country of cuisine or any other specific requirements that you can filter. So you're able to home in on certain recipes that you would like to have cooked from fresh. So here we have all the recipes, and let's go search down for the Vietnamese noodle broth. Which is just a little bit further down. Okay, here we go. So Vietnamese. Here we go, Vietnamese noodle broth. Now you'll see a list of ingredients, so it's very specific and very accurate to the way this recipe should be cooked. It's been given to us by a chef, so it is going to be cooked exactly the same way a chef would be cooking this particular recipe. So you have your list of ingredients, from your bean sprouts to brownie onions to the coriander, ginger root, etc. It also tells you what equipment you'll require, which is a medium pot, a mesh basket, and another medium pot, which will have the water to do the noodles. So that's already been I've actually prepared that already as well, so that's already on the induction hob. Also nutritional facts, which are very important with every single recipe. All our recipes include nutritional information. And also you'll notice here, get ingredients. Now you can also have a get ingredients service whereby you can actually send a message to yourself or to somebody else to get these ingredients fresh just before cooking. And also there's a secondary option where you can also have these ingredients delivered. So you could register a delivery company in our interface and order the ingredients. So they can be just delivered to your door, so no need to even leave the house to have this recipe. Which is why this is quite a good function, because you can have access now to all the recipes, all different recipes from around the world, from Asian, Spanish, Italian, Indian, and so on. So you never have to be worried about having the ingredients at home, because you can actually order them and have them delivered. So those are two functions we have. So we're going to do the robotic cook today. So the robotic arm is going to cook the whole recipe from scratch. And let's go start robotic cook. Now it's a very easy to follow system. It's very diagrammatic, and we even have the scales integrated into the system. So when you are preparing the ingredients and measuring and cutting and so on, you are actually cutting the same way and preparing the meal the same way a chef would be doing this. So it's going to be really, really good, and it's going to be exactly how it should taste. And obviously, if you're doing it this accurately, it's going to be consistent as well. So let's go straight into the first ingredient, which is your ginger root. Now you'll notice the LED light has just popped up. This is telling me where its location should be. It could be elsewhere, which we would indicate on here, but at the moment it's telling me on the highlighted top shelf here. So the ginger root has been prepped together with some brown onions as well. So we've got 45 grams of ginger, 100 grams of brown onion at this location. Very simple. Confirm. Second is the chicken stock. Tells me in this location should be the chicken stock. Chicken stock is all prepped and ready, and I'll simply put that on there. Now this recipe, you could have had it actually prepared a bit earlier. Take it out of the fridge, select your recipe, put it on the shelf, and start cooking. It's so simple and so quick. So we confirm that. Next is more chicken stock. This is required at the second location on the top shelf, which will be here. Confirm. Then we've got some star anise, cinnamon, cloves, fennel seeds, and so on. These are all our herbs and onions and peppers in here with the coriander, and that's going to be going at location point there. Confirm. And the rice noodles. The rice noodles in the long container, second location on the bottom. As you can see, it's so simple. There's no real margin for any error. It's such a simple process to follow. Then we've got some prawns. These are lovely fresh prawns, brought literally just before we wanted to cook this recipe, so they're nice and fresh. There we go. So that's ready. Then we've got some bean sprouts. Now I'll come back to the bean sprouts because I want to show you how the integrated scale system works. Let's just jump that for the moment. And then we've got some spring onions, coriander, basil, and some more red chili in the fourth location along the top. So that's all done. So let's just go back to the bean sprouts. Now I'm going to turn on the scale system that's already integrated. So here you'll see at the bottom the scale indicator. I'm going to put my empty container on the scales, just pop it back down to 0. And it's telling me that I require 100 grams of bean sprouts. So let's pop in the 100 grams. Slightly over. So 106. 100. There we go. Exactly 100, well, 101, so that's not too bad. That's exactly what we need, and that's going to be at the last location on the top shelf. So there we go. So that was a very simple process. No hassle at all then loading those ingredients. Now it's just asking me to prep the equipment. So first item is going to be the medium pot, already in position on the left side. I can confirm that's done. Second part is the medium pot with the water where the noodles will be cooked, and that's in location, I can confirm. Here we've got the slotted spatula. Now the indicator, the diagram is very important. The reason why we have it in diagram form is to make sure that utensils are put in the right direction. You don't want to put it this way, or you won't get a proper stir. Here you get a full stir of the actual recipe. So that's confirmed. And finally, it's the mesh basket. This is the mesh basket. Again, the diagram telling me exactly which way to face it. Very important because it will be taking the noodles out, putting it into the main pot and doing a quick stir. So that's confirmed. And that's it. That's all that was required. So now we can start cooking. Let's go to the start cooking button. Now the first indicator is telling me that the robot will start moving immediately, and to make sure all the cooking is free from any unnecessary items. So it's all nice and clear, nothing in the way, and I'm happy for this now to start cooking. And it also tells me the duration, which is 26 minutes. So we have 26 minutes whilst this is cooking. Please do send in your questions, and I'm happy to go through a live chat and hopefully answer all your queries. So let's start cooking. So not only will the robotic arm cook the recipe, but it also controls the hob as well in terms of the temperature control and which pot should be on at the right time and so on. So it's very energy efficient as well. So just to give you an example, an hour's use of the robotic system only sort of absorbs about 120 watts of energy, doesn't use much energy at all. So it's a very energy efficient system as well. Also, on the bottom of the screen of the interface, there's a percentage counter that tells you how far down the process you're going. So when it hits 100%, obviously it's going to say it's complete, but at least you can keep an eye on this. So if you're working from home, example, or if you have some family or friends over, but you just want to keep an eye on the recipe that's being cooked, you can actually see it on your phone app or on your interface or the pad, and then you can actually see and hear the actual cooking process. We do have voice notifications, so you can be voice notified as well, so you can actually hear what's going on in the kitchen without even having to look at the interface, so you can hear all the steps of the whole cooking process. So as I mentioned before, it will cook exactly like the chef would in terms of timing, stirring and so on. So all the movements and everything is being trained into the robotic arm, so it cooks like the chef. And also in terms of stirring, pouring and so on, it's exactly what the chef would be doing. Now, for example, things can happen, like the onion is just left in the container. There's no reason why you can't simply just carry on, also help the robotic arm, and you can also put the onion in the pan. So it's so user-friendly. It's like an appliance in your own home, and you use it just like a normal appliance. So I'm just going to check on Instagram and YouTube, see if there's any questions coming as of yet. On YouTube, Michal Shestak says hi. Hi, Michal. Thank you for joining. Now, today's demo is on our X-Air model, which is our model which is integrated with furniture. Now, we partner with some of the premium brands, Italian brands of furniture makers, like Minotti, for example, and we use lots of different finishes on all our different kitchen designs. And we do actually all the designs and all the specifications here from our London showroom. So if you've got any requirements in terms of planning for your kitchen with a robotic system, you can get in touch with us on our contact us page, send in your floor plan, send in as much details as possible, even down to what kind of recipes you'd like as well, because we do have a large library. We have about 50 recipes from around the world, but we can also add your own recipes as well. So if you've got any family traditional recipes that you want to add to the library, you can send the details in, list of ingredients, maybe a little workflow diagram as to, or a video of how you cook. Our in-house chef will then convert your recipe by cooking it, giving all, and our engineers will load all the different algorithms in terms of the generic movements we already have with the robotic arm on its 6-axis system, and they will load, test it a few times, and in about 3 to 4 hours, you will have your recipe in the library to be shared either just with yourselves, or you can share it around the world. And I'm sure a lot of people have lots of family favorites, so it's really good to add those kind of recipes to the collection as well. Okay, let's see if there's any questions coming through. Okay, as you can see, it's got to grab the spatula very accurately, do all the stirring required, making sure everything's stirred properly. Now, together with this noodle recipe, similar to some of our the pasta dishes, for example, we can cook in parallel the sauce, together with the noodles or the pasta or the tagliatelle or the penne. It can be cooked in parallel. So not only is the sauce being cooked, but the pasta is also being cooked at the same time. So if you've got the two-part ingredients for a recipe, we can program that in to be cooking in parallel. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this is our XM model. Just behind me on the right-hand side is our BM model, which is a more back-to-wall system. So if there's a compact area and you haven't got the depth or the space, we can do a compact version. So basically exactly the same robotic arm, but everything against the wall. We can also do the chef's table. Now the chef's table is one of our most popular systems because it can be integrated not only into a new kitchen, but we can also integrate that into an existing kitchen. So you only need a space of about 1.03 meters by 1.3 meters. So it's a very small space, and that can be integrated. The power supply, there's no special electrics required. It's simply a plug-in system, 220 volts, plug in, and as soon as you plug that in, you're ready to go. That's all you need to do. Here we've got the stock going in nice and carefully. It's so smooth, making sure that there's no errors. It cooks the actual recipes really cleanly as well, so there's a minimal amount of mess. Everything here is also dishwashable in terms of the pots, the Rafoni induction pots. These are our own containers that come with the whole system, and the KitchenAid spatula and spoons and so on. Now everything can be dishwashable as well. You can also purchase extra containers. Now this is a great way of meal planning, for example. So you may want a meal plan for the day on a daily basis, or even a plan for the week. You can buy multiple sets of these containers, prep your ingredients, put the lids on, it's vacuum sealed, and it remains fresh for a number of days. So potentially in your fridge, you'll only have the fresh ingredients you need for that week. So that's really important because unfortunately in this country, and similar to most other countries around the world, there's a lot of food wastage. There's a lot of food that we throw away from our fridges. In this country, we throw away about 200,000 tons of food every year, which is going to waste. So this is environmentally friendly because there's less waste, there's less power consumption in the fridge. It's a much more efficient way of not only storing your recipe ingredients, but also utilizing all the ingredients on a weekly or regular basis, which reduces waste, which is a major, major factor nowadays with food waste. And this certainly helps to reduce that as well. So the robotic arm itself, So yeah, please, if you've got any questions, do send them through on our live chat. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. We're on YouTube and Instagram, as I mentioned. So 88% of the way through, we're almost done, and it will turn the hob off completely shortly, and then we're almost done. You'll notice there's a blender here as well. We can also make sweet potato coconut soup and lots of other different soup-based recipes. We have a blender that does all the blending. We can do risotto, paella. I mean, risotto is a very long recipe. Risotto can take about 50 minutes to cook, but there's a lot of stock pouring and a lot of stirring. But you know, if you can imagine actually just walking away and letting the robotic arm cook the risotto, I mean, that's a huge factor in terms of saving time. And you know, for 55 minutes you can go away thinking that, knowing that you're going to be receiving a very nice risotto meal. We do mushroom risotto, we do risotto Milanese. Now all these recipes are from well-known chefs as well. These are not just recipes out of a recipe book, they're actually from well-known chefs, likes of Tim Anderson, Nick DiGiovanni, and Uncle Roger, and so on. There's several chefs that we deal with, and the quality of the recipes are very high quality. So there you go, noodles have gone in. Not only just pour the ingredients, but it also shakes, stirs, and scrapes the spatula, just making sure that there's no wastage as well. Here we've got a final stir about to happen, and I'll be showing you the final result. Wow, looks great. I can imagine going into a Korean restaurant and, sorry, a Vietnamese restaurant and receiving this from a menu. Wow, looks good. So we're 97% done, so a few more minutes left, in fact probably a few more seconds left, and this recipe is complete. So let me just grab, whilst we wait for the last part, I'm going to grab my own bowl so I can show you the final result. And I'll even taste it as well, so I can give you my verdict on the taste of this dish as well. There we go, final scrape. As I mentioned, you can also activate the voice notification as well, so it will actually tell me exactly when this is finished. There we go, 100% done. And cooking process finished, there we go. So let's grab a little bit in my bowl so I can show you guys exactly how it looks. Presentation is very important, so I'm going to show you exactly how we'd probably receive it in a restaurant, but it does look absolutely amazing. There we go, that's perfect. So there we have it, guys. This is Vietnamese prawn noodle broth. You can probably just about see it there in the camera. It looks absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to do a taste test on this, so just making sure that what I've been saying about the quality of this is as is. So let's grab that. Let's grab a bit of prawn. Wow. Tastes absolutely fantastic. So, thank you all for joining, and like I said, if you've got any questions or any requests, do get in touch with us via our contact us page on our website, and we'll be happy to discuss any design requirements on any of our models for residential. And but if you have any other further questions in terms of the commercial side, send it through and our commercial team will get back to you. But in the meantime, have a lovely weekend and I'll see you in a few weeks' time. Goodbye.